Have you ever felt trapped by your own thoughts? Well, this is my story of breaking free, finding my power, and choosing to thrive. I hope this encourages you to do the same. Hi, I'm Emily, and welcome to my channel. I wrote Thrive because it's during a very important transformational time in my life. I had just gone through a bunch of personal development and training and leadership training, and it was the first time I was actually like fully going for my singing career, and it was the first song I ever wrote. And this is super important to me because I honestly didn't know if I could actually write a song from scratch. It always would get, just a little bit there, but I could never seem to finish it. And I never could understand why. And so it was like super impactful for me to get this song completed or at least written. And then, my producer at the time was helping me, get through it and create the track for it as well. But yeah, this song is about like a transformational journey all the way through, and it's from where I was to where I am. And I'm still working on it too. So it's like I just want you all to like know that like this is always a journey, and it's not necessarily like a result. It's just like we got to keep working on ourselves. In life, we all deal with struggles, and we face like these inner thoughts and these brutal like negative thoughts about ourselves. And so like for so long, like I didn't think I was good enough. I was beating myself up, super critical of myself. I was like always beating myself up because I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna get to whatever I want to do. And so I just always had these negative thoughts in my head, and it was just like it caused me to be down all the time. And I actually had like I didn't understand until I went through some personal development that I actually get to choose how I want my life to go. And if I'm in a negative, mindset, that's my choice. And so now that I knew that, then I was like, oh, I can actually just start working towards, improving that and realizing that, it's important for us to just work on ourselves on a regular. And trust me, this is not easy. I mean, that was, I don't know, I started this at least since 2018, and I'm still working on it today. And it's like baby steps to just working on myself. And I realized, that I get to choose, my energy, like who I hang out with, what I'm doing. And like I get to also reframe perspectives and like shift my perspective of things or circumstances or people, and that way that I am in control of my actions and my reactions. And so like I think it's very important for me to in this song when I give a cross, like I started here, I'm working on this, and so now I'm just like in the process of, yeah, I'm still working on it. And this song is like a very, at least in the first verse, this is about like, I didn't believe in myself. I thought, my thoughts held my mind hostage. And like, I never knew I could move on. And I never knew I could actually change that. So this is super important to me in the verse one. Yeah, I was my own worst critic, and it was like it created so much darkness and negativity and depression in me. And I just never thought I was gonna ever come out of this feeling of not, no, not feeling worthy or enough. Like I still like have those feelings, but I know I'm aware of them, and it's now I'm able to slowly move forward with them. Trust me, it's not easy. It's still got to work on them, but yeah, that's the whole point of verse one, basically. In verse two, I'm discussing the like realization of, of life and transformation. And so basically, I started learning that, like, through all the personal development, I started working on myself, and I started realizing, reframing like that I can choose whatever I want. So, this is me choosing that I don't wanna be in the negativity in the more anymore, or I don't wanna be down on myself on the more anymore, having a pity party or being the victim of things or not taking responsibility for things. And I just found that it's super empowering once I realized that like I get to choose. Don't get me wrong. It's easy for me to fall back into like the victimhood or oh poor me kind of feeling, but like I realize like I'm in it, and then I try to figure out ways to work around it. Like, I'm using meditation or going for a walk in nature or anything like that, just to get me out of my head and my thoughts. Even going, for a walk on the beach or a walk into the grass barefoot, and just like it's just something, and like journaling. But it's just something now that I realize, like, I get to choose me, and I get to choose what I want, what I want to do. I don't, no one else is deciding that for me, basically. And it's just like it's transformed my life so much that, like, I'm going for my dreams no matter what. And you know it's tough sometimes, because sometimes it's easy to fall back into those negative thoughts, but the more you work on it, the easier it gets, or at least the more you're aware of it, and you're able to be like, okay, this is this, and now, like, what steps do I take, to move forward, basically. Also, for me, for the very longest time, I always thought, like, I was always different. I always stood out. I was always, I never seemed to fit in anywhere. And I just was like, what's wrong with me? I always kept going, is there something wrong with me? Like, and then because I was always having am I good enough? I'm not good enough. I'm unworthy. Like, I don't deserve that. Or it just like, I was constantly feeling, yeah, the harshness of that, and I never accepted myself fully. It's still hard for me to accept myself fully, but I'm in the process of realizing that I'm special, I'm unique, I'm bold, I'm powerful, and, like, I get to choose whatever I want. And so, like, it's super powerful once you start embracing who you truly are, because we all are so special, we all are so unique, we all have something to share with someone else, or we have some lesson that we could help somebody with, or, just generosity with other people, realizing that this world isn't all negative, or down, or depressing, or upsetting, or anger. And there are people in this world that are very amazing people, and they do what they can to help uplift this society and this world. And it's just, I'm working towards that, because I think it's so important for us to help each other out, instead of being bitter and angry at people and not wanting to be around people. Because I know it's easy for me to fall into that and get super isolated from people, because it's like, but I started realizing, like, it starts with me, and if someone triggers me, that's something I get to learn. So, but yeah, trust me, it's not easy. It's constantly working on myself. It's like learning my patterns, like what I fall back into, or anything like that. But this transformation process for me has been so impactful, and I hope that I can encourage you guys and help you in any way or form, because I know what it's like, and I know how tough it can feel. So it's just like, I don't know. I would love to help anybody if I can, really. Oh yeah, another side note, like, I started learning that there's nothing actually wrong with me. Like, I just choose to make adjustments. It's not like I'm changing myself or changing someone else. It's changing myself, because if I change who I am, because I want to be a specific person, or I want to do something specific, I have to change my way of being in order to, like, work on myself, or change the way people think about me, around me. And so, like, and it also helps create more attraction, abundance, and magnetism. And so it's just something, like, I've been very, been working hard for. So it's like, but yeah, I don't want anyone to ever feel like they need to give up, because, we're all unique. We are perfect the way we are. We all were made specifically original. And I think that's so cool. Now I'm free. I'm love. I'm the power and peace of my fears. Oh, I'm alive, and I'm here to thrive. So basically, this is like a super powerful anthem to, like, face all your fears and realize that you have the power to get through those fears, or work on those fears, and to push past those boundaries, because you are an amazing person. You are, powerful. You can thrive instead of survive. And, like, because surviving is not a life. And it's like, No one wants to survive. People want to thrive. And it's just something that's like it's super powerful because you have freedom, you can have love, you can have power, and you can just be truly yourself. And it's just for me, like this is super. All I want to do is empower others and like let you all know that like you can do anything you put your mind to, really, truly anything. And once you do, you'll start feeling that like the power within yourself because you start getting the confidence the more you take action. And I just want you all know that it's super important and it's so worth it when you do. Verse 3 is about like, giving back and living in your purpose or living in the way that you want to be. And so like this is like when you give to others, you will receive more. Not that it's an exchange, but like you will receive the more you give to somebody or you share with somebody. And because you'll inspire to see the difference that you're making in someone's life. And so it's also just like you have a lot left to give. There's so much to you're not just stuck where you are. You can do so many things and you're not stuck. It's also about being proud of who you are and to not allow the judgment of others or the society to bring you down, basically. So it's like it's so easy to get stuck into like the comparison or judging others or, when someone judges you, but also remember you could be judging others as well. So it might not just be them judging you, it could be you judging them as well. And it's just something to reframe around. I know I have to work on this because I tend to judge people off the way when I first meet them. And yes, that's a good feature to have and remember that, but it's something that's like you have to remember that they're judging you as well. So it's like it's easy to get into that like well there's this way and that's why I don't like them or something, but it's like how can you reframe it or how could you help them or what could you share with them maybe that could help them without like teaching them or throwing it in their face or something like that. But it's just like realizing that we have the power of connection. And if we soften our like judgment of each other, then and our comparison of each other, it reduces like jealousy, anger, bitterness, self-criticism, because it's so easy when we're like, well, how come they get all that and I don't, kind of thing. So it's easy to get stuck in that. I know I have, and I know even recently for me, that has caught me. But I'm still working on ways around that and remembering that I need to be work on myself and my inner love for myself and embracing myself fully because I am where I'm at and like I'm still working on the process, not just like the results, but the process and the journey and all the stuff I'm learning along the way. Because right now I know this is what I need to be doing or need to be learning now so that in the future, like I can really excel because I know I'm in the season of like learning about myself and about others and working on having better relationships with others as well. For me, like my heart is so big, but it's so easy to get hurt and it's so easy for me to become like isolated because I do get hurt, but I have to remember like, everyone is hurting somewhere and something. And so it's like we all have our own things and it might not have anything to do with me. It could be something that they're dealing with when they're, let's say, for example, like recently, I've had some people say pretty nasty things to me on TikTok or even Instagram in the comments. And it's like, it still hurts, even though I realize that, like, it's just them being trolls or them being mean because it makes them feel better. But it still doesn't make me feel very good. And I know for me, like, that's caught me, in a bit of a low because it's like I'm like, well, maybe I am not meant to do this, or maybe I should stop because this is not worth it. But then I have to remember like, what is my actual purpose, or what do I actually want to do? Like, I just want to help people, and I just want to sing. That's it. And so, as long as I remember that and I remember my why, and that it's like I'm just here to impact people both on a physical and mental level and mindset level, then I guess that's all that I have. So So this is like super important to remember that like we are powerful, but it's so easy to get sucked back in. So it's to remind myself that like, it is always going to be a working progress. And there's no like one size fits all. There's no, we're all on our own paths and our own journey. And that's what makes it so beautiful. Remember, when you embrace your journey and your transformation, that's when it inspires other people as well to do the same. And I hope this encourages you all to do the same. And I would love to hear like what journey you are on, or what kind of struggles that you're dealing with right now, and like any way I can help in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you all. In verse 4, this is like, for me, this is like my true like transformation. It is like it's going from realizing like I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm critical of myself and self-doubt, to realizing that like I get to choose. Like that's the beauty of it, and I get to choose whatever I want. And yes, those thoughts still come up, but it's still my job to remember that it's my responsibility to take control of what I'm saying and thinking in my head. And like just sometimes if I have negative thoughts, it's just something to observe and just let them go. And it's like it's so, and then also to let go of control of how things, come, or how things happen. And sometimes I like to force an outcome, or like get stuck in like, well, I want it to go this way, or why am I not here already? And so and just learning to sit back, kind of be patient, still take the actions, but not be critical of myself like, well, you're not here because it's only been 3 months, and you should be farther than that, kind of thing. So it's just remembering like I'm still learning. Like every week is an experiment. It's like learning new things, and it's not always easy, but it's so important to realize that, because yeah, we learn from everything we do, basically. Also in verse 4, I discuss like how many miracles are actually in my life. Like, so for me, I work on gratitude in my life. So I'm grateful for, so many things. And it's like if I remind myself every day that I'm grateful for just the small things. It's like even having a roof over my head. It's having a great job. It's having a great husband, who's super supportive. So it's just like it's being in the gratitude of it all, and just remembering that those are still miracles in our lives. And the more we reflect on the miracles, or the amazingness in our life, the more abundance like we will attract, or that we will be able to see, or we'll be able to see the opportunities that come to us, when they're presented. So just remember that like it's so important for that as well. Another thing for me in verse 4 is like sharing with others is my destiny. For the longest time, I was like, I don't want to share anything. I'm also an only child, so that doesn't help. So, but I never learned how to share. So it's like, I'm like, I don't want to share, because then it's like I'm giving away info or giving away something. Instead, like it could just be helping others, and like sharing isn't like giving up something. It's inspiring others to do the same. And so like I'm trying really hard to get better at sharing, whether it's like knowledge, or my music, or something else that I'm not used to sharing, or family, or anything like that, with others, because it's like we can't hoard and like hold on to everything in our lives, or we could like miss out on something that we could have really, you know, helped someone through, whether we know that they needed it or not, if that makes sense. If this video resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more info. My song Thrive is out on all streaming platforms under Emily, spelled Emley. And so let's all thrive together, and let's share this song with everybody you know. Let's thrive together. Let's rise like phoenixes, and let's cheer each other on. Let's go.